check mine or not, but I did do it.
I may have asked it before. Yeah.
Oh, that homework probably. The
This
one
one,
that's like the.
it's in different pages, but
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I have it there and there.
Okay. So yeah, how
There's like a bajillion
it was,
pages.
I think, the worksheet that said motion problems at the top, so they didn't.
Which one? Okay, I'll look for that.
Mhm.
Did you get all
Okay,
of
sure,
my,
I've
all
got
the
it all.
rest of mine though, other than that one?
Yes.
Okay.
There's my name.
But she's sick. Or
Or
just not here. she's playing hooky today.
Yeah, she didn't feel well. But like during the test yesterday, I remember she was sniffling the whole entire time. It was like, oh, you poor thing.
Our class seems really small.
It does.
French class only had 3 people today.
I was talking to my friends from Homestead and they were like, my smallest class is 20 kids. It's like, mine's like 2. Please don't tell me the answer for number 13 would be, because I'm gonna cry because I circled that and then I erased it.
Actually, no, it's not.
Okay.
so.
I'm okay.
What is
We'll go over it after you guys have a chance to look.
Mine says like +2 at the top. Did
Yeah,
that?
I added 2 onto everybody's score
Yeah.
Okay.
at the end.
How did I think I squared that? Oh no. It's okay. Only 2 points.
How did
I
they
guess I
get
didn't
that?
check those. I should have checked those.
This text is literally
Give yourself some credit,
I
Holly.
know, it seems so dramatic, but it's true. Because I thought there were gonna be more like of the problems on here, but because that's what I like studied. Like, I was like, okay.
I wish there would have been more of the problems because
I knew
the
that.
multiple
I was
choices, the
starting
ones
to
that I
second
did
guess
wrong.
my decision on that.
The multiple choices I probably got wrong. Because I just don't do good words. Words just confuse
No,
me
it's
so
just a
much.
bit.
I just think
Oh,
better.
it isn't. Do you like it that much?
That's why I do better in
Not
math
really,
than I do in
but
like everything
I
else.
just don't want to read it.
Are you guys ready to discuss?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. I'll just go ahead and read all of the correct answers for the first page and then we can go over questions by page. Number 1 is C, 2 is B, 3 is A and D, 4 is D, 5 is A, 6 is D, 7 is C, 8 is B, and 9 is D. Were there any questions about those for 1 through 9?
Oh, well, I got.
That was your worst page.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would be happy to clarify if there was any questions.
I understand what I did on. I get what I did on number 1 wrong. I just thought it was A because like when it just said across the room, I didn't know if he was just going straight across the room or if he was like going jagged across the room, so that it'd be different displacement and different distance. So that's why I did.
That's true, but
I didn't know.
C was the clear answer in that one because the displacement would be 0. A is a little bit, yeah, I can see your argument.
And what was number 2?
B. You're having a problem with the infant crawling because you think you wouldn't go in a straight line. But
have many cousins.
but if you
I
think
barely
about the
ever
other-
see them going straight lines.
no, I agree. But if you think about the other two options, A is a football coach that's going back and forth. So no matter what, if he's going back and forth, his displacement is not going to be the same as his distance.
Oh right, that.
And again, the C is another person that's running around in a circle.
Yeah, I
So-
got that one. I didn't think this one. Then I got number 4. Where's number 4?
What did you do? Which one?
For the eastward displacement, so after all is said and done, the car needs to be further east at the end than they started.
Oh, it was the answer.
It was D. So if it goes
I
west
almost
for
put that one
5
too.
and then goes back east for 8, the displacement would be east 3.
See, I'm just dyslexic because I was thinking like 8 was like less than 5, and I'm just stupid.
Not
Anyway,
stupid.
It's rather not stupid.
I think I am. But okay.
What was interesting about this is that most of you got around the same score, but you didn't miss the same stuff.
That's funny.
So like it wasn't like everybody had a hard time with a certain part of it. It was kind of like just.
Mixed up.
So while you might be asking more questions on the first page, somebody else might have more questions on the different
I
page.
just don't get all like the like going one way, then this way, and that way. And it's really like, it's all confusing. And it's like opposite and what?
Can you explain number 9?
Number
I-
I
9,
didn't get that one
I
right
had to
either.
guess on that one.
that one was a commonly missed.
Yeah.
I got that one.
Okay, you're moving in a straight line that has an acceleration of 8 meters per second for 4 seconds. So, what does that mean? What does an acceleration mean? A lot of you put C, right? What, so you know it's changing its speed, right? That's good. Acceleration means it's changing its speed, but it changes its speed 8 seconds every second. So that means that, I don't know, so after the first second, it's going.
I was thinking it was 8 seconds.
I was
in
debating
4
back and
seconds.
forth.
Eight,
It's like,
after
yeah, I
the
didn't
second
know. I
second,
had
it's
to put,
going-
I guess. Like, well.
They don't tell you how fast they're going to start with, but
What did you do?
you get the point. So
You're the worst.
it's increasing by 8 seconds,
What?
or 8 meters per second every second. So that's why it would be 32. It changes its speed 32 meters per second in the 4 second period of time.
Okay. Thank you.
Is the +2 added to teacher or was the
Yes.
just okay? I didn't know if it was. I don't remember what I got.
Okay. Second page. 10 was B, 11 D, 12 A, 13 D, 14 C, and 15 C.
Can you explain number 13?
Which one?
Number 13.
13. So since the slope of the line is negative, that means that it's moving to the left.
Right.
Okay. And so it's B or D, so is it speeding up or slowing down? Since the slope is steeper at the beginning and less steep or shallower, I guess, at the end, then that means that it's slowing down.
Gotcha. Okay.
Other questions on that page? No? Okay. 16 is B, and all the rest on that page were C.
Just how is that? Oh, I put C for all the ones on this page. That's really funny.
Well, you only missed one then.
I noticed that and I started freaking
That's
out.
a good
Just
thing.
like, oh my gosh,
notice
I got
that.
everything wrong. I didn't even
Didn't
notice
even pay
that.
I would use like
I
cutting
like-
and pasting questions off of like this question thing I have. So I didn't notice either until I was making the key.
That's funny.
I didn't even notice that.
I just looked at the question. If I liked the question, I put it on there, but I didn't see what the
That's hilarious.
answer choices were.
I'm glad I didn't realize that, because I would have started freaking out like I was wrong.
That's what I was doing. And I went back and second guessed myself, and I changed the answers. So bad.
Okay, and the back page, 21 is B, 22 is C and E, 23 was B, 24 was B, 25 was A. And just so you know, the multiple choice were each worth 2 points. So most of them you just got 2 off automatically, but if it was like multiple circles, then depending on what you circled, I only took off 1 point. And 26 was 2.3 seconds, and some of you rounded differently. As long as you had something that was similar, as long as I could see basically that you divided negative 9.32 by negative 4.06, and you got something close to 2.3, I counted that. And then 27 was 206 meters, and again, some of you rounded that differently, but that's fine. Questions on the back? Okay. I'll take those back from you. Before we get out your notes. Going to talk about Newton's laws.
Newton's notes from one class.
Motion, I think it says motion problem. I can show you.
No.
That I forgot in science class.
I must be because of science. It's gonna be like science. Does it matter?
There you go.
It's math,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
one of
the
the worst tests ever.
Yeah.
It's completely filled out.
Is this unit 2 that we're starting?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you
So
like-
are we not going to go back to anything like that we just, because was that our test for like the whole first unit then?
Yes. But it's not like that stuff
I'm sure it applies.
is gonna come up again. Matter of fact, you'll notice that it will come up again today. So it's not like you can forget everything.
Exactly.
Like my sister
Okay.
was asking me about chemistry yesterday, and I gave her my chemistry notebook, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember learning that, and I'm like going through it, and I'm like, how did I do this? Like trying to put it back in my head so I could like teach her how to do it, and then I just like left her with my
Is that the
notebook, and I
whole
came
reason
back
that
out, and she
I
was just
grade
like,
was that way,
I
though?
learned more from your notebook
Well,
than
that will
I have
add
in this entire
5
class.
points. And then
like,
there was a couple of
why?
other days that you were missing a couple problems on your
Oh,
papers,
okay.
so it'll just be like a few points off.
Gotcha.
Alright. Can you see anything up there? It's so black.
It's like light black.
Light black.
Light
It lit
So
up
great.
a little bit.
Is there such a thing as light?
It's actually navy blue.
Yes. Navy blue.
I can, no. Oh, why does it have to be dreary outside?
I like
I
when it
kinda
rains.
like it.
Today.
I get the best sleep
I
of my
love
life
like
when
that.
it rains.
I kinda
Although I had a
like
dream
it.
that I was gonna be a snake almost bit me, so
Yeah, she had a dream
I had a
that you
dream
like
that you
murdered
murdered
somebody.
Allie and Hannah. And I think because we had that conversation about it yesterday.
About murdering people?
No, about Allie and Hannah, you know, you were just like talking about them the other day. And then you like put them in these tubes and we were like, you pulled me. You made me like keep it a secret.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I almost got bit by a really poisonous snake, so I would have died anyway too.
I was
do
watching
this
both
sometimes.
yesterday.
Alright, I guess I'm writing them on the board.
And it was really awesome.
Change plans.
No competitive TV. What was that all about?
Lord. She's gonna get hurt. Because that doesn't
Alright,
change
Newton's
the
first
actual.
law of motion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you could flip
Sometimes it's also called the law of inertia.
Let's see what she's. Just nothing. There we go.
Says, and you've probably heard this before, an object at rest. Do you know what comes after that? Stays at rest. And an object in motion.
Stays in motion.
Stays in motion. With the same speed and in the same direction. Unless it's acted upon by an unbalanced force. That's really big. Okay, so what this is saying, to summarize, if the forces are balanced, oh, well that's up, but I can't get my notes. I turned my iPad off. If the forces are balanced, then what are the two parts of this?
Stays at rest.
So if the forces are balanced and there's an object at rest, or there is an object in motion, so if an object is at rest, then what's its velocity?
0.
0. If an object is in motion, what's its velocity? Not 0, right? It could be negative, it could be positive, but it's just not 0, right? What happens to the object at rest? It stays at rest. And what happens to the object in motion? It stays in motion. And specifically, it has the same speed and direction. What's a way we can summarize speed and direction? What? Speed and direction is what? Velocity.
Oh, bummer.
So, if it stays at rest, what's its velocity here?
0.
0. So what's its acceleration?
0.
Okay, if its velocity is 10 here, and it has the same velocity as 10 here, what's its acceleration?
No. Yeah.
Velocity's 10, and 10, the acceleration is 0. It's not changing, right? Remember, acceleration is change in velocity, so if the velocity is not changing, then the acceleration is 0. There's a couple of other ways we can say this, just to reiterate. So in other words, we could say that objects keep doing what they're doing. Or we could say that they maintain their state of motion. State of motion is the speed and direction. Or in other words, like we said before, velocity of an object at any given instant in time. And again, the acceleration is going to be 0. Because they are maintaining their state of motion. So we said this is also called the law of inertia.
Maybe it'll show up now because it's like.
I'm hoping, because I want to do some of those questions if it will work. So what is inertia? Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist changes in their state of motion, or again, the tendency of an object to keep doing whatever it's doing.
There we go.
It's working?
Yep.
Okay. There's also a cool picture in here. So this picture is of liquid in a cup, and they moved the cup, but you can see the liquid wanted to stay, or like they're all in a tray together, and they moved the tray. Well, the liquid wanted to stay where it was. So it's actually going to come out of the cup because the liquid is trying to stay where it is, and you shift the tray and the cups are moving, then the liquid's going to come out. So that's kind of cool. Or, and another example would be like if you have your car, oh, I guess I didn't have to hold it like that. But if you have like coffee sitting in your car and you're driving and you like slam on the brakes, the coffee's going to like, it seems like the coffee is what's moving, but really the coffee is just trying to stay doing what it was doing, and you slammed on the brakes, so the coffee appears to be coming out of the cup, which it is coming out of the cup, but it just was trying to stay doing what it was doing, but you have an unbalanced, that's where the unbalanced forces come in. So, again, everything wants to just keep on doing what it's doing unless something happens to it, and then it will change. Okay, so let's I thought I could clear all of my annotations tonight. Alright. So Newton's first law of motion, the law of inertia, applies to C, all objects, whether moving or stationary. Good. Which of the following can be explained using Newton's first law of motion? It explains why a moving object keeps the same velocity, why every force is accompanied by a reaction force, or why an object accelerates with a particular acceleration value. A. Good. Astronaut Wayne Less is tightening a bolt on the outside of his spaceship. He becomes frustrated and gives his wrench a hurl into space. One can expect that the wrench will eventually stop, since all objects ultimately lose their steam, eventually stop as its inertia slowly becomes used up, or continue in motion with the same speed and direction.
C.
Good. So, in earth science, we're learning about, like, I forget what it's called, the Voyager, like the space thing. Anyways, I should have a more specific name for it. But the Voyager is what it's called. But it doesn't require any energy right now. Like, they just sent it off into space, and it no longer requires energy. It just is going to keep on moving, just forever. Alright, if the forces acting upon an object are balanced, then one can be certain that the object is moving at rest, not accelerating, or moving with a constant speed. Good? When all individual forces acting on an object are balanced, it is the natural tendency of an object to Good? Which of the following is known for certain to be true of an object that is at rest? Good? And last, the individual forces acting upon an object are balanced. What can be concluded about the